You know what? I gotta go to Arts. So yeah.
All right, who do we have up next? Is it bio?
No. Yeah, we're going by file order, so next would be Assemblyman.
Okay, Assemblymember Bloom. Item number 8. And you may proceed whenever you're ready. 2305. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair and members of the committee. I'm very pleased to be here and to be able to accept the committee amendments that have been placed before us. AB 2305 represents a multi-year quest to end captive breeding of orcas in California. This is a historic and monumental change in policy that we will now enshrine in California law. I should say the change that SeaWorld has already announced is something that we will be enshrining in California law. But this is important because no company, once this bill has been signed into law, will ever be able to collect for keeping in captivity or breed captive orcas anywhere in the state of California, setting a very clear policy for us. Almost 2 years ago to this day, I sat in this very committee presenting AB 2140, calling for the end to captive breeding of orcas in California. The bill, as many of you know, had a lengthy and lively debate, but ultimately was sent to interim study. If I've learned anything in 17 years as a state and local legislator, it's that good policy making can take time. So even though that first attempt to get a law passed on orca issues was not successful, my staff and I doggedly continued to educate ourselves and advocate to others with the goal of introducing new legislation in the current term. And advocates, I'm pleased to say, stuck with it too. Public opinion has been changing along with leading publications such as the LA Times, Washington Post, San Francisco Chronicle, and the San Diego Union Tribune, all acknowledging that public disapproval of orca captivity has been growing and unlikely to ever retreat. Even the National Geographic called for change. And so here we are. AB 2305 ends captive breeding of orcas in California. And while it doesn't do everything that AB 2140 tried to accomplish, it is a huge step forward. And while I wholeheartedly support and applaud SeaWorld's recent announcement to end captive breeding at all of its parks, AB 2305 is still needed in the case of a leadership change, a change in SeaWorld's business model, and to prevent, and I think this works to SeaWorld's benefit, any other company from repeating the mistakes of the past. And I hope that in doing this, we will also provide leadership to other states and other countries as well that continue to have this practice. So I thank you and ask for your aye vote. We have 2 witnesses in attendance, Naomi Rose with the Animal Welfare Institute and John Hargrove, a former orca trainer.
Proceed.
Good morning, Chairman Levine. Where is he now? And Assembly members.
I'm Chairman Levine now.
I know you are. I see that.
We hardly noticed the difference.
My name is Naomi Rose. I'm here representing the Animal Welfare Institute, a sponsor of AB 2305. I have a PhD in biology from the University of California in Santa Cruz, and my doctoral dissertation examined the social dynamics of orcas in the wild. I've been working to improve the welfare of captive cetaceans for more than 20 years. I'd like to thank Assemblymember Bloom and Chairman Levine for their leadership on this issue. We are now in a brave new world, where SeaWorld itself has come to realize that continuing to display orcas in captivity is an outdated practice whose time has passed. By agreeing to immediately end the breeding program for all of its orcas, this will be the last generation of orcas ever displayed in California. While this is a tremendous first step toward a more humane future, it is essential that this corporate policy be codified in law to ensure the momentum begun last month continues on. AB 2305 is not about closing marine theme parks. Phasing out orca exhibits is an evolution of a business model, not a death knell. The bill is not about ending research. The 11 orcas in San Diego will be available for research for at least the next 2 or 3 decades. Now, while AB 2305 does not address the conditions under which the 11 orcas in San Diego will be maintained in future, AWI strongly believes that a discussion of options for their maintenance must continue. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is currently undergoing a rulemaking to update and revise the care and maintenance standards for captive marine mammals. This process indicates that the question of how these animals are kept is on the minds of many, including regulators. And in addition, the scientific, aquarium, and policy communities globally are actively pursuing initiatives to establish seaside sanctuaries for captive whales and dolphins. In December, I co-organized a workshop at the 21st Biennial Conference on the Biology of Marine Mammals in San Francisco, where experts examined the legal, husbandry, veterinary, and engineering logistics of developing such sanctuaries. And we had over 70 attendees, including several from the aquarium and research communities. So we urge all stakeholders concerned for the welfare of captive orcas to keep an open mind on this option and to underpin any recommendations or future decisions regarding sanctuaries with solid science. I strongly urge you to vote aye on AB 2305. California should lead the way in bringing about the end to captive display of orcas. In the 21st century, we have so many other possibilities for educating the public, including advanced technology, and I thank you for your consideration of my views on this progressive and timely legislation.
Good morning, Chairman Levine and Assembly members. My name is John Hargrove, and I am pleased to co-sponsor AB 2305. My 14-year career as a killer whale trainer was split between SeaWorld of California and Texas and a facility in the south of France, working with 20 different orcas. I'm also speaking on behalf of fellow co-sponsors and former SeaWorld trainers Carol Ray and Sam Berg. We understand better than anyone why people want to see these animals up close. They are extraordinary. My childhood dream was fulfilled when I became an orca trainer. But ending captive orca breeding is something I have campaigned for since resigning from SeaWorld in August of 2012. No matter how much we love these whales, our firsthand experience showed us they simply do not belong in captivity. It has devastating health consequences for the whales and can be lethal for trainers. In SeaWorld's March 17th announcement, CEO Joe Manby courageously stated, Americans' attitudes about orcas have changed dramatically. A growing number of people don't think orcas belong in human care. We changed because society's mindset was changing, end quote. Of all SeaWorld's parks, attendance dropped the most in San Diego, falling 17% in 2014. That's the same percentage increase that SeaWorld's stock jumped by the close of the market the day after Mr. Manby's announcement last month. Doing the right thing has proven to make good business sense. Mr. Manby's decision marks the first time that both parties have reached across the aisle to produce dialogue for meaningful change, and these whales deserve it. Thank you, Assemblymember Bloom and Mr. Manby. Please vote yes on AB 2305 so we can align ourselves with other countries around the world who have already evolved on this issue. Thank you.
All right, at this time, I would like to ask Mr. Pete Montgomery to come up and just make I think he's interested in making a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee. Sorry. Good morning, Mr. Chair and Assemblymember Bloom. Pete Montgomery on behalf of SeaWorld thought, as the affected party of the bill, we should make a brief statement. As a result of SeaWorld's recent announcement, we have been working with Assemblymember Bloom on this legislation, but SeaWorld does not have a position on the bill itself. SeaWorld ended its orca breeding program effective March 17th and will replace all of its theatrical killer whale shows with educational orca encounters starting in San Diego next year. It's also important to note that the federal government regulates marine mammals in zoological settings through the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Animal Welfare Act. SeaWorld has introduced more than 400 million guests to orcas and is proud of its part in contributing to the understanding of these animals. These orcas will stay at SeaWorld and will continue to receive the highest quality care based on the latest advances in marine veterinary medicine, science, and zoological best practices. Most of SeaWorld's orcas were born in a zoological setting, and the environmental threats in our oceans, like oil spills and pollution, are huge dangers for these animals. The best and safest future for these whales is to let them live out their lives at SeaWorld, receiving top care and state-of-the-art location. Thank you, Mr. Bloom. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Montgomery. I'd like to also recognize the former mayor of San Diego, Jerry Sanders, who would also like to make a brief comment.
Thank you very much, and members of the committee, I appreciate this. I'm Jerry Sanders, President and CEO of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce and former mayor of San Diego. I'm here to emphasize the importance of SeaWorld to the San Diego region, from economic impact to youth jobs, from animal rescue to scientific research. SeaWorld's an icon in our community and the cornerstone of our region's tourism industry. SeaWorld's undertaken the bold step to end orca breeding, and you're taking the first step to codify that decision today. This initiative, along with the transition to educational orca presentation, ensures the park will remain healthy and viable well into the future, a future that will continue to expose millions to the marine life, education, conservation, and research. Economically, a thriving SeaWorld benefits the city of San Diego, and I'm hopeful that the bill as written helps everyone move forward and pass this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Sanders. All right, at this time, other witnesses in support, your name and your organization.
Sure, Chairman Levine, members of the committee, Jennifer Fearing here today on behalf of supporters of the Humane Society of the United States, the San Francisco SPCA, and Defenders of Wildlife.
Thank you.
Sherry Lesniak, Born Free USA, in support of the bill. Thank you very much.
Kyle Jones with Sierra Club California in support.
Kelly Dunn on behalf of California League Conservation Voters in support.
Kimberly Ventre on behalf of Voice of the Orcas in support.
Iris Grodnoff in support.
Piper Cressel, HSUS District Leader, support.
Erin Hauge, Certified California Naturalist and Wildlife Advocate, in strong support. Thank you.
Nanette Wheeler-Carter, President and founder of CA for Elephants. Elephants and whales are cousins. They are both very familiar in their family orientation, and we are highly in support of this bill. Thank you.
Gina McBride, CA for Elephants, highly in support of this.
Alicia Amerson, California Sea Grant Fellow, Office of Lieutenant Governor, Gavin Newsom.
All right, thank you very much, witnesses in support. Are there any witnesses in opposition? All right, seeing none, we'll bring this back to the author.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, I want to laud SeaWorld for its bold step, which will inevitably inure to the benefit of the whales, the public, SeaWorld, San Diego, and beyond. And I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bloom, and thank you for your hard work on this issue. This is not something that happened overnight. It's something that you saw through after working a long time with stakeholders on it. So congratulations to you and everyone in support of what you've done. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. So moved. Second. I see a motion by Mr. Bigelow and a second by Mr. Medina. Please call the roll. Oh, were there any other comments or questions? I'm sorry. Thank you. All right.
The motion is to pass as amended to the Rules Committee. Levine?
Aye.
Levine, aye. Gallagher? Bigelow? Aye. Bigelow, aye. Dodd? Aye. Dodd, aye. Eggman? Christina Garcia?
Aye.
Christina Garcia, aye. Eduardo Garcia? Gomez? Harper?
No.
Harper, no. Lopez?
Aye.
Lopez, aye. Mathis? Medina? Medina, aye. Olson? Salas? Williams?
Aye.
Williams, aye. 7. I need one more.
All right, Mr. Bloom, you are 7-1 right now. We need one more. We'll keep the roll open for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Bloom, you've got another bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My next bill is AB 2480, which seeks to do two very important things. First, the bill establishes that source water